All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take you through my personal setup. Nothing's really changed. Some things have changed, but I'm using the same machine and I just kind of want to do an update. And a lot of people have questions as far as, you know, how are you streaming / gaming? You spilled coffee on your rig. How is that? Are you back to 2? Did you buy a new one? Like, what's your process? What are you working with? And to start things off, what I'm filming with right now is my iPhone. So I'm using the iPhone XR. Got a little phone holder attached to SwitchPod. Bought the SwitchPod years ago, and it's always been like kind of my go-to selfie stick. One cool thing about the SwitchPod, whenever I'm filming, I can just, I know I didn't really show that well, but boom, 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 boom. It just kind of folds out on its own. And at the bottom of these feet, they're magnets, so it holds together when you clamp it shut. And then I just pick it up, and then it's back to selfie mode. So I'm gonna throw this back on here. All right, back on the selfie stick. Chill. All right, so as of right now, I guess we'll go over the computers first. Yeah, we'll go over the computers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so essentially what's happening is this is the gaming PC, and then this is the streaming PC. Why 2 PCs? Well, when I'm gaming and streaming on one, let's just say the power goes out, or let's say some type of malfunction happens on stream, or I'm running a really high resolution video while gaming and kind of showing off stuff, or I'm gaming and reading chat and all this other stuff. Just layers upon layers with different functionalities. It will slow this guy down, regardless of how fast I personally try to make it with the current funds I have. So that's why I wanted to delegate a bunch of stuff to the streaming PC as far as like encoding goes, scenes, camera angles, gameplay, sound, alerts, and just wanted to keep that off the gaming. And then essentially when I do that, I can game at, you know, my 1080p resolution at 144 hertz and get those frames and really push that, because this guy's not thinking about too many things while this guy is. So it's just my mindset is I like to offload anything that's just not necessary to me playing the game. Like, that should be my most creative machine where I can do what I want when I want and not have to be bogged down by all the extra minutia that this showrunner can do on its own. So we're gonna go in here and just kind of explain what I've built, maybe some reasons behind it, but also what I did. All right, let's open this guy up. Okay, so what do we got going on in here? This is essentially a mini ITX build. So we got our little mini ITX motherboard. We have one Elgato capture card. To be specific, it is the HD60 Pro. And what we decided to do was just run integrated graphics on this build and not use a graphics card to produce any images. We are running 16 gigs of HyperX speed RAM. This is DDR4, so it is from 2018, it's a little old. This spaghetti noodle over here is a power cable going to, I think, a 600 watt power supply. And then, you know, we have a couple SSDs connected, and then the rest is connected to, you know, the control board here to turn it on. Let me see if I can take this off. Boom. So we have one big 120 millimeter, I think, or just 120 fan. And to power this whole thing is just one 8th generation i3 8100. And that's a 4-core. That's a 4-core processor running the whole show. And then everything on the SSDs is like the OBS, the operating system, this and that. This guy can encode 1080p at 60 FPS, but that's just bare gameplay. As far as, you know, alerts, overlays, blah, 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 blah. I do need to downgrade to 720p while streaming. I can keep the 60 FPS and maybe do some tricks here and there to make it work harder to process that image to kind of maintain like a good looking image, if you will. Still pixelated, but we do have fast internet here, so that does make a big difference. And we are connected. We're doing some of this, what do you call this, man? An Ethernet cable. Freaking 25 feet of it. Because I was originally in this corner, especially when we first moved into the place. So I was like, oh, I'll get 25-foot cable, go all the way, boom, back here to the Xfinity internet. Now for the gaming PC, I'm gonna remove the magnetized, dust filter. So essentially what you guys are looking at right now is the process cooler right there and the GPU. I don't even want to unbox that dude. I don't want to take him apart because there's just too much going on. So Yeah, let me think about this. What's in the gaming PC? For the processor, we're rocking the 2700X with a Wraith Prism cooler, all AMD. And then we're doing like some old A30 or A50 motherboard. Has the AM4 socket, obviously, because we're using the Ryzen. But it's just like a basic motherboard. It's like a plug and play. So you're not gonna really be able to overclock or over kind of volt anything. It's a real safe board. Graphics card, I picked up an RX 580 at the time, which was like 2018. There was a deal on a refurbished card. I didn't know that there was gonna be COVID. I didn't know there was gonna be a GPU shortage. I didn't know that crypto was gonna like boom, 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 go up. And I was expecting, oh, I'll spend $175 on this graphics card, be able to play at 1080p, some high frame rates, right? And then eventually upgrade. It's been years since I've been able to achieve an upgrade and all the prices skyrocketed, inflation, so you know where we're at right now. But the speed it's at, 1200 megahertz, some games need it faster to be like just producing that fidelity image, you know, and it's kind of showing its age right now, but I still game on it. I am rocking 32 gigs of RAM. If there's anything you should be upgrading your computer if you already have components, it's RAM. It does give you more FPS. It does give you faster workflow on your editing software or anything like that. RAM, random access memory. You need to access so many random things when you are operating. If you are solely focused on one application at a time, that is where you're kind of like a standard user using like a MacBook or something. But if you're like, oh, hey, what's up? Sorry, I'm making a video. My computer and stuff like that.
About your amazing life.
Yeah? Like a camera.
Oh, it's new. Shape your body is smooth.
So anyways, just upgrade all the RAM that you have. And then storage wise, I've been using the same hard drive that came with it, and I don't really want to change anything up. I just don't want to change anything. I just want to keep adding to the monster until I need to buy a new one, right? So it's running off of a 1 terabyte hard disk drive, and then we have a 2 terabyte hard disk drive literally dedicated to Call of Duty and all those titles. I'm kind of like totally burnt out on COD, but because the games are so big and you can find a bunch of sales on hard disk drives, especially 2 terabytes, 3 terabytes, 4 terabytes, it's a lot of data that, you know, I don't need the fastest computer. Like when I'm gaming, I'm kind of staying on that game. I'm not transitioning to a different one. Not really a variety streamer. I kind of just tunnel vision. Anyways, long story short, you got the terabytes in there. Now I do have a couple of SSDs. I do have one standard like SSD drive that has like the games that I will occasionally play, because I don't want those games to take up on the operating system. I want them to operate on their own memory storage, but keep it fast. And then for big games that I don't play often, like single player story games, I like to run them on the NVMe drive. I got an M.2 drive, and that thing is just a beast, because with the amount of RAM, with the amount of processing power, and with the amount of fast storage you have on the M.2 drives, the games just operate at a higher level. You're able to play with the settings tweaked up just a little bit more, and that's just based off my experience. So that's my setup, and that's what I do. So if there's any more questions, I guess just leave in the comments, but we'll see you guys later, boy. Say later, boy.
Why are you filming? Why are you filming?
Because I'm a YouTuber. I gotta make content.
I'm gonna cry like a baby coming home from the floor.
Say yeah, boy.
Your boy.
That's what I'm talking about. Say yeah, boy.
Say your boy. Your boy.
Ah, strangled!